Hello everyone, this is Davinci Resolve Basics. Today we're gonna find out how to import your media, how to edit it, how to add a little bit of graphics, how to work on your sound, and how to export your project. Let's jump into Davinci Resolve and continue there. The project manager is the first screen you will see when launching Davinci Resolve, but you can open the manager at any time by clicking on the home icon at the bottom right of the user interface. To create a new project, click on the New Project at the bottom of the window and give your project a name. Then click Create. Now the cut page will open and you can start working on your project. But first what you need to do is to import all of the media you're going to need using the media page. The media page is the primary interface for clip import, media management, and clip organization in Davinci Resolve. Click on the media storage and find the media that you want to import into the project. Also, you can simply drag everything you need directly from a folder. A little tip: if you have recorded your audio separately, there is a quick way to sync your video and audio very quickly. Simply select all the video and audio files you need to sync, right-click, Auto Sync Audio, choose based on the waveform, and Davinci will do it for you. Now, when everything is imported, we can move to the cut page. Cut page is all about speed. There are two timelines here, one is zoomed out, the other zoomed in. This is done so you would not waste your time zooming in and out while going through your media and choosing which portion you are going to use and in which order. In the top timeline you are moving playhead, in the lower the playhead is stationary and you are moving the timeline itself. You can change it if you want by clicking one of these icons to either free playhead or to lock it back again. You can apply some effects or transitions here. In Davinci Resolve 17 you can preview any effect simply by hovering over it with your cursor and moving it left and right to see the transition or effect change. Also, there are some titles in here that can be previewed the same way. Now let's move to the edit page. The edit page is where most of your time will be spent. Let's start from the top left corner. The first button for almost any page will be the media pool, which allows for a very quick access to any media that's been imported. Left to the media pool there is a small button, which is called Shrink Expand, the function of which is kinda self-explanatory. Then we have an effect library, the same as for the cut page, but it contains titles and transitions within. Next is the edit index. By default, it shows a list view of all the edit events in the current timeline. Each clip and transition is shown as an individual event, each of which contains multiple columns of information. The sound library gives an access to an online library of sounds or to the local one. Now let's move to the right corner. The first button is the mixer. The mixer is used to monitor sound levels of each separate tracks and the resulting combination of them as well. Metadata contains uneditable information about the selected clip, including the file name, directory, duration, frame rate, resolution, and codec. The inspector can be opened to let you customize compositing, transform, and cropping parameters for clips, as well as clip-specific retime and scaling options. Furthermore, the inspector lets you edit the parameters of transitions, titles, and generators used in the timeline in order to customize their effect. Inspector is also used to animate any parameter you want. For example, to animate the rotation angle, put your playhead to the beginning of the animation that you've chosen. Press this diamond corresponding to the rotation angle, then move the playhead to the desired end of the animation and change the rotation angle to any value you want. Now let's move to the timeline itself. Your timeline may look slightly differently. The way your media is presented can be changed using Timeline View Options button. Your video and audio, if they are from the same source, will be linked, which is displayed by this symbol. It means that if you select one of them, the other one is selected automatically. You can select them separately by using this button, which is called Link Selection. Or you can disconnect them by right-clicking and deselecting Link Clips. Now, there are a couple of ways you can trim your clips. If the cursor looks like this, it means that you are going to expand your clip until it reaches another one. If the cursor looks like this, it means that the expansion is going to continue over the other clip. If you need to cut the clip, you can use Blade Edit mode. Or simply use a shortcut which you can tie to any key you want by clicking on Davinci Resolve, Keyboard Customization, and tying any function to any key. By the way, at any time you can change your project settings if you want. They all can be found by clicking the gear button at the bottom right on any page. If you are struggling with a smooth playback that drives you insane, here is a tip that can help you. The first way to make it easier on your machine is to click on Playback, Timeline Proxy Mode, and choose Lower Resolution, half or quarter. Another way is to right-click on any clip and select Generate Optimized Media. This way is long and unpleasant, but it's most likely to help. Okay, now let's move to the Fusion page. The Fusion is a powerful 2D and 3D compositing application which would allow you to create special effects. Fusion seems complicated because it uses nodes instead of layers, but once you get used to them, the difference is minuscule. There are some effects here that are ready to use, like for example this matrix effect. If you are interested in Fusion, the link to my beginner tutorial can be found in the description. The color page is where Davinci shines the most. Because initially Davinci was created as a color grading tool. And again, in order to use it, you are going to need to get used to nodes. A link to a detailed color grading tutorial for beginners is in the description. The next page is Fairlight. Fairlight is designed to work with sound. You can apply effects to a separate audio clip, but major adjustments are more convenient to apply to the whole track. When working with a substantial amount of tracks, it is helpful to use mute and solo buttons that allow you to mute selected track or to mute every track but one. You can even do automatic dialogue replacement here if you want. When your project is finally ready, it's time to move to the Deliver page. There are some presets here for YouTube or Vimeo, but I'm going to show the optimum settings for the best quality. Choose Custom, make up a name for your project, and pick a location on your hard drive where you want it to be. Now, if you have a free version of Davinci Resolve, choose H264, and if you've got Studio version, H265. Why not something better? Because the size of codecs listed higher will be enormous, but the increase in quality minuscule. Change resolution to 4K even if your project in 1080p, and restrict quality to double the frame rate. Example, if the frame rate is 24, then the quality restriction is 48,000 or higher. Then click Add to Render Queue. Davinci will give you a warning that the resolution of the timeline is not the same as for the render. Click Add and then click Render All. And that's it. If you want to see something else about Davinci, leave the comment below. Thanks for watching. See ya!